Good evening, everyone.
Um,
Nice. Again.
hey.
Been nice again. But
Mm.
next week it's going to be a scorcher. A tropical scorcher, none the least. Upwards of 30 and above. So,
With the sort you get drawn out.
but anyway, yeah, that's next week and it's all week. Happy days. So, yeah, it's I be hey, you're not on your own, Bria. You know, this weather suits me down to the ground. It's just bearable. You know what I mean? In lower 20s. Do you know what I mean?
Breeze just every now and again.
Yeah, in lower 20s. Yeah.
Not like that, not all week.
Yeah, but it's going to be like that all week next week. Hot, hot, hot. Yes. So. Hey.
I was sitting in car with AC on. Ghost, stop touching my phone because you keep on pausing it.
But yeah, and it run weather tonight, and it says like literally from Monday all the way through the week. You know, in 20s, higher 20s, and 30s and above. It's the thing that is it. I think, did you put it in group, Amjad?
Sort of sleigh, is it, Amjad?
Yeah, roast potatoes and clock boom.
Hey.
But
Sleigh potatoes.
Yeah. You know, the thing, they don't go together. We had a bit of a catastrophe earlier on. Yeah, exactly, Bria. But yeah, it was an accident that couldn't be avoided because it weren't anybody's fault.
It could have been, but I didn't know the drop was still on because I was trying to lift off. It was saying.
Did it crash? Is that how it ended up?
I crash landed.
Oh, right.
Put it that way, and it landed on its
upside down. Yeah.
It's got a thing called turtle mode. You press that,
yeah.
Press turtle mode, and it goes, flips itself back over. But I will try to take off. It weren't happening. So I thought, oh, engines must have died. So I tried starting it again.
And no happening.
Tried lifting it off. No happening. So I said, well, we'll back the pressure.
Yeah.
Don't think engines are on. But they were.
Callum went over to pick it up. Right. And things were still going round.
What were happening? They picked it up. Bear in mind, they've got prop guards on them.
Yeah.
Protect the propellers. They picked it up from top.
Yeah.
So I said, let go of it. I said, I can't, it's still going. I thought, well, if I just dropped it, it is either going to fall on ground or it's going to fuck off into the sky, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought, right, I'll grab it. I went like that, and it sort of went, so like went at an angle as soon as we like both let go at the same time.
Yeah.
And it must have left his pinky dangling.
Yeah.
Went,
he's got an injured finger. And no, I'm not swearing, but it's this hand.
That finger.
Yeah, that particular finger. And we're very, very lucky.
Well,
it's this nail. It's sort of like split it halfway up, right? And it's like hanging off. And there's a big blood blister on under his finger. So yeah, it with that finger on his left hand, and he's left-handed. So Yeah.
Not good.
So we come home and I had to put a plaster on it for him. And then he's saying, oh, well, because you see, he is left-handed. So, you know that if you're honest to God, Brie, it looks horrendous. Because it split his nail, like more or less halfway up his fingernail. And he sort of, it's in that sort of position where you can't pull it off. You've just got to leave it. So I strapped it up with plasters and I put in one of them condom things, them cot things, them rubber things that you put on anyway to sort of protect it. Yeah. But then he was saying, like, oh, it's throbbing a bit and I can't do out with it. So I says, I tell you what, I'll show you. Because in here, it's like a bit of a DIY first aid kit. So yeah. And I bought these when he cut his finger when they were at work one day. So it's one of them. But they call them finger cots because it's like for in food industry, so you can carry on working, Anyway, so he's got one of them on. So, but I do also in there. I've got the like Steri-strips. You know what I mean? Instead of having stitches in. Plus, in here, I've got like, oh, where is it? Iodine things for all sorts. Iodine thing, and then I've got some like, them dressings. So yeah. So there we've got as sort of a makeshift first aid. What's it? The thing is, Amjad, if you do roast potatoes with clotted cream, they're going to be like greasy. Well, I know they're meant to be greasy, but you know what I mean? Clotted cream. Ugh. But so there you go. What am I going to say? Forgot now. Well, that's basically what happened. Chris thought the engines had stopped and the props had stopped going round, so he told Cam to pick it up, which he did, and they were still going. So it weren't sort of anybody's fault in particular, you know what I mean? This is the thing, Amjad. I was trying to tell everybody. I went to it yesterday and it says restricted mode off. So everything's back to normal. So I don't know. And I've been sort of racking my brains for the last, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, trying to figure out. And I says to Chris on Monday, I says, well, as a last resort, I were gonna take it right back to a factory reset. But, I wanted all my, photographs and everything taken off it. So I don't know whether it scared it into going back onto, I don't know. But yeah, come yesterday. Perfect. No restrictions. I've been on one of Richard's today. On here, commenting. I've commented on Chris's. I don't know, and that was what I was trying to say last night, Amjad. I just do not know. It just, as quickly as it came, it went back to normal. So I don't know. Oh, pardon me. I didn't do anything in particular. It were. You see, this is where I'm saying, Amjad, it lends more weight to the problem being down to Google or, Microsoft or whatever it is have been blocking Chrome. For what reason? I don't know. Hi, Michelle. How are you? I'm all right. How are you? I know you've had a bit of a scare because I've been following what's been happening. You know what I mean? So I do hope you're well and feeling better. So I'll tell you something though, Bria. I forgot where we went now. We were down south, Devon, that way. And you cannot be a Devon cream tea. I mean, there's Cornish cream teas and then there's Devon cream teas. And by far the better of the two is a Devon. Hi, Raphael. The better of the two is the Devon cream, cream teas. And I'm not just saying that, but yeah, I so yeah, and I've had both. I've had the Cornish one and I've had the Devon one, but by far the best is the Devon cream tea. So, I'm trying to think where we went. And we thought to ourselves, well, you've got to have a cream tea if you're in Devon.
Oh yeah. Yeah, what did we?
Yeah. We went to a proper, like, went it like a garden centre?
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to this garden centre, but they got like a little cafe tucked away at the back. And we says, well, we're in Devon. You've got to participate in a Devon cream tea experience. So yeah, and to this day, I've never tasted better, if you know what I mean. But going back to the conundrum, jam or cream first. And I says I put jam on one side and cream on other. But when you do a cream tea, I always put my jam on first and then the cream. So honestly, Bria, I can't remember where we went, but I know it were down Devon somewhere. And we called it this garden centre and tucked away at back of this garden centre with this little cafe. And it were, yeah, it were out of this world. I mean, to me, Bria, it makes no odds whether it's jam first or cream. It goes that same hole. You know what I mean? You're not going to be arguing, what comes first, clotted cream or jam, when you're shoving it down your cake hole. No, they don't work in that same sentence, Amjad. I'm sorry, but but yeah, if ever anybody has the chance to get a Devon or a Cornish cream tea, they're phenomenal. But by far, I think the Devon just edges it that little bit. And let me explain, because obviously Michelle's in the States and Raphael, I forget where Raphael is, and it's like you get an individual, you get either a pot of tea with you, and then they call them cream teas, because you get maybe a couple of scones, a little, nobody can see, a little like thing for with jamming, and same with clotted cream, and it's got to be clotted cream, no other cream, it's got to be clotted cream. It makes no odds to me, Bria, you know, whichever, you know, you put on first, but yeah. But you know, you know, that's why they've put your jam and your clotted cream in separate, you know, little things, so you can do it your way. So but yeah, if you ever get chance, you know what I mean, to, you know, partake in it's only sort of, well, not only, but famous down in Devon and Cornwall. You know, the two sort of separate cream teas, but it's same on same, you know, on same footing kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely out this world. Oh yeah, definitely. You see, our has to sell that. I've actually got a recipe that I printed out, and it's not a cream tea, but it uses clotted cream. Watch, it won't be one at Lastings. Blackberry and clotted cream shortcake. But it's more like a cake, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That it you know, you know, if it's in Cornwall or Devon, it's got to be that clotted cream. Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I saw that. I thought, well, that's something a bit different. You know what I mean? A blackberry and clotted cream shortcake, and you sort of make it like a cake, but then you cut it in half. But you see, they've put the clotted cream on first, and the blackberries on top. Because you see, I printed that out because I bought some frozen blackberries. So it's sort of, watch this space, Bria. And it only takes 20 minutes to cook. So yeah, it's yeah, sort of, you know. That's it. That's it. We're in for a bit of a mini heat wave as well. Yeah, same old, but yeah, I have cut down on the live streams. I do the baking now on a Tuesday, and I just do one live on a Saturday, but with occasional, you know, an occasional one here and there on a Wednesday. So we're going to have a mini heat wave next week. You see, this is it. Us, you know, us Brits aren't used to Yeah, we've got 2 cats and 1 dog. Biscuit's on a diet at the moment.
One-eyed monster.
Yeah. Yeah. He lost one of his eyes because he had a tumour growing on it. He says tomorrow it's going to be 19 to 21. Now that, to me. Oh, it's Woody. Hi, Woody. Here, Amjad. Sorry to interrupt you. Hi, Johnny.
Hi, Jeanette. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Google Chrome will stop supporting Android versions 8 and 9.
Just thought I'd come up here and say hi to you.
How are you?
I've been working all day. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. This weather, this kind of heat is ideal for me, and it's been sort of 2022.
Is it hot up there? Out there?
Apparently, next week we're going to have a little bit of a heat wave in 30s. Now that to me, unless you're used to it, it's too warm.
All right. I'm in my garage. I'm trying to get this thing set up right. Put this microphone on there. Can you hear me
I
okay?
was going to say, what's that on your at?
It's a microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Is it working okay?
Yeah, yeah.
You been making cookies today? Cupcakes? Or
I made, what did I make? Strawberry and white chocolate muffins and a Kit Kat cookie bar yesterday.
Wow. Yeah. I wish I was over there. I'd buy some from you.
I don't sell me. I'd gladly give it you, but I don't sell anything. You know what I mean? I just do it because I like doing it. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure Chris appreciates it.
Oh yeah, definitely. And Callum. So we've partaken in one of the muffins. I don't think, to be honest with you, because it's fruit orientated, I don't think Callum's overly, you know what I mean, overly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we love them. But now Kit Kat, because it's chocolate, yeah, it's right up his street.
Sounds good to me.
I don't know what he.
Ah.
I wonder what was going off there.
All right, is it working again?
Yeah, it's fine. Hi, Barefoot, how are you?
My tripod is almost halfway broken, so it's kind of rigged.
Yeah, same as Bria just says it's too healthy for his liking. the muffins I'm on about. And I've just had a message from Gary. He's eating a Domino's pizza. And I've just had a message from Gary.
He's eating a Domino's pizza.
Yeah.
Hi to the chat. Y'all go subscribe to this wonderful lady.
That's the picture he's just sent me.
Oh, yeah. That looks good.
I don't know what you call it. I know it's got pepperoni on it, and it looks like sliced sausages. I don't know what it's called. So I'll wait for him coming in and I'll ask him what it's called. Yeah, so did I, Bria, as well. They're coming up. I'm Jed. Look at me. They're coming up, Johnny. It looks like pepperoni, or I don't know what you call it, but it looks like a sliced sausage as well.
Like some kind of Canadian bacon kind of thing.
I don't. Same as I say, I don't know. I'll have to ask him when he comes in what exactly it were, but it looks nice anyway. Put it that way. I've just been showing because we're on about clotted cream.
Oh man.
Yeah, blackberry clotted cream shortcake.
Instant diabetes.
But yeah,
I got the type 2 diabetes. I ain't supposed to eat that stuff, but I do.
a little bit of what you fancy does you good every now and again, within
Yes,
reason.
ma'am. Absolutely.
I mean, saying that, Bria, I've never ever ordered from Domino's because I find them expensive. So I've never ever ordered from Domino's pizzas, and that's one thing I can say. I've never ever ordered from them. Hi, Mike. How are you?
There's Mike. Click the link, Mike. Come on up here and say hi.
But yeah, do you have Domino's in USA?
Oh yeah, everywhere. We order them every now and then. Like we don't like to order out too much because it's expensive.
I would say for us to have a takeaway. It's a once every so often treat, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, treat yourself.
Yeah, but no, that's one thing I can say. Never had a Domino's pizzas.
They're not bad. I like their cheesy bread. They make good cheesy bread.
Yeah. But yeah, even no, what's other chain of pizzas? I don't know. I forget now. Chicago, wherever it is. But I've never ordered from Domino's.
Well, you're going to have to treat yourself.
I think they're too overpriced myself. You know what I mean? Oh, Pizza Hut, that's the one, Bria. That's where I was thinking on. Never had one of them either.
Yeah.
The thing is, I puts cheese on the bread. But yeah, you know what I mean? I like to know what I'm getting, if you know what I mean. If, same as Bria says, she's seen a behind the scenes docu-series or documentary, and she says, they don't wash their hands.
Well, you probably make a good pizza yourself, don't you?
Probably. I mean, I've never tried it, but yeah. I'm
sure Chris would like it.
Chris said from people working there, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. When you ordered a takeaway, you don't know what goes on, behind the scenes, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
And I always find that, at least by doing it yourself, you know what's going into it, and you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But it's well, put it this way, Woody. I've never poisoned anybody yet. I've poisoned anybody yet.
Yeah, you never know what the delivery drivers might be doing,
That's it.
Yeah. They could have a bad day and say, hey, I'm going to torture somebody,
And somebody, one of the chefs that's making pizzas might have a beef with somebody and, This is what I always fear, somebody going, you know what I mean? Ooh,
Oh yeah.
imagine that. Ooh. You know what
Where's
I mean?
Richard?
I have just messaged him, but he hasn't messaged me back yet. Oh, hang on a minute.
He's probably taking a ride on a train somewhere.
Oh, he's yeah, a daughter calling. it's something to do with his daughter anyway. Meatalicious, it's called. Ham, chicken, pepperoni, and sausage and bacon. So you were partially right there, Woody. So he said he were listening. So yeah, it's called Meatalicious.
That was from Gary.
Gary's Belfast, I think.
That's crazy. Everybody's from different parts of the world. It's just so neat.
Well, just for Gary's benefit, there's like Northern Ireland and down South Island. Now, in the middle there's a bit of a divide, right? So the people in Northern Ireland are classed as British. And this is the thing, in Northern Ireland, they've got the pound like we have, but
Yeah.
in the southern parts of Ireland, they have the euro.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that divide between the two, between Northern Ireland and the Southern Ireland.
Yeah.
So, but
That's
it's
crazy.
all, you know, it's a bit of a strange.
That's
Well,
kinda
that's
crazy.
it. That's it, Raphael. I mean, I've got these, look, and when I'm handling stuff, I always like the cookies. I always put them on. I mean, one, for hygiene purposes. Two, I don't want all sticky dough all on my hands when I'm rolling cookies out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I blow in them before I put them on. I'll blow in them and blow them up, and they go on better.
But yeah, I always order. I get like them in a box, big box. You know, like they do in emergency rooms and everything.
Yeah.
I order a big box because you can use them for a multitude of things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, when you're using, you know, detergents that are a bit corrosive or things like that. I part nest. So yeah. So I'm sorry, Gary. He says, "Well said. Appreciate how you explained." So, but yeah, it's yeah, it's a bit of a strange thing. I mean, even though Ireland's Ireland, but there's like a divide. And the top half are British and the bottom half are Irish. But so there you go.
So you don't use the penny, right? You just round up to like 5 cents.
Do I what?
Do you guys round your money up like to 5 cents and don't have like?
Yeah, we've got. Hi, Jennifer. The lowest denomination is 2 pence.
Oh.
2 pence. Then it goes up to 5 pence, 10 pence, 20 pence, 50 pence, and then pound. But we've also got like a £2 coin as well.
Huh.
And then it gets a bit complicated. And then after the £2 coin, we've got the notes, which is £5, £10, £20, and the all elusive £50 note.
Huh. I think we're getting rid of the penny.
We still have 1 pennies, which is like your cents. You know what I mean? Yeah, 1 pence. But a long time ago, we did have half a penny. So, but it, you know, it were neither here nor there, so they did away with that.
Yeah.
Gary says marigolds. Hiya, Gary.
Gary?
I'm glad you appreciate the way I explained it, Gary. You know what I mean?
I seen you up there by yourself. I just wanted to come up here and give you at least somebody to yell at, you know, until you get somebody else.
I would never yell at you. Yeah, Richard, I think he's dealing with something with his daughter.
Oh,
So that's basically the reply I got, that he's dealing with something with his daughter. And the place that he mentioned, I think it is because he's got twins, you know. So he's got, he's got two girls. They're not identical. They were, but
girls are a handful. I only have one, but she turned out pretty good.
I mean, same as Richard said, double trouble. But the one that he's referring to, I think, is she's been training to be a doctor.
That's good.
That doesn't surprise me, Jennifer, in the least.
What's up, Pam, Jed?
But so, where did you say you are? In your garage?
Yeah, I'm in my garage. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Well, we call it garage.
Garbage? Might as well call it garbage, because I got a lot of it.
It's where you put things,
Yep.
I know exactly, I'll put that in there till we need it again.
I got too much things I need to get rid of. The problem is I keep everything, like if I cut a 2x4 that's 8 foot long and there's like a little 6-inch piece left over, I keep it. I don't know why.
Well, you never know when it might come in handy.
Yeah.
But the only thing about decluttering as well is once you declutter, it starts filling back up again. So.
Yeah. Things are so expensive, you have to keep everything.
That's it. That's it. You never know when it might come in handy.
I agree.
But, our spare rooms like that. I mean, we had a big clear out not so long back, and you put things in there because obviously we've got there's only Callum at home and there's Souls, but we've got like a little box room. So we'll just put it in there for now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then, and then things build up, and then you think, I'm going to have a clear out.
So your kitchen remodel, how did that go? Are you happy with it?
Yeah. we had a lot of problems, electric wise as well. So we've had Bill's getting circle of death.
Yeah.
Hi, Bill.
Hi.
What's up, Bill? How you doing, bud?
I bet any money Bill's had a haircut.
I think Bill lives like about an hour from me. He's in Texas too, I think.
I am.
Yeah, I'm in Fort Worth.
Oh yeah, Trophy Club,
Out there by Colleyville and all that.
Colleyville, and yeah, South, right next to South Lake.
Yeah, I know where you're at.
Yeah,
Maybe tickets from there.
If you tell me who's cut your hair for you, Bill, I'll get them for you.
Yeah, no, I don't go to the airport until Friday.
Is that why you've had a haircut?
No, I got a haircut because I've got a convertible, and when I run around, it goes like this.
Good explanation, that, Bill.
But it does. It like touches my eyes when I'm running around with the top down. And my if my wife had her way, my hair would be halfway down my back. She likes long hair. I don't like long hair. And so we compromise and do what she says.
Park Ness says, wasn't Radio Shack headquartered in Fort Worth?
Yes,
Dallas.
sir. I believe they were, weren't they? Weren't they,
Well,
Bill?
Well, we've got no, I guess that's Texas Instruments is in Dallas.
Yeah. Raytheon and Texas Instruments.
Yeah, they're right there off 635. Yeah.
I used to work out there. ST Microelectronics, SGS Thompson, and all that.
I hated working in Dallas.
Pardon me.
When I go to the UK, I sort of laugh when they talk about traffic. It's like, yeah, go from Fort Worth to Dallas at 5:30, then you'll know traffic. 8 lanes each direction and sitting still.
We think we
The roundabouts from UK.
like four lanes one side and 4 lanes other. So, like our motorway, that in its entirety is what you're. I couldn't deal with
Your
that.
streets are 4 feet wide and there's cars going both ways on them.
Gary says, is there a big military base in Fort Worth?
No, it's not a fort like that. It's there is Alliance Airport, which is a military airport, and there's also Lockheed that makes unfriendly airplanes, shall we say?
Skunk Works.
Yeah.
Lockheed. Yeah.
Anyway, Bill, how's it doing with you're cutting out your soda, and how's your blood sugars doing?
I'm doing a good job. I just got back from the doctor. And
So-
he looked at my chart. Now, mind you, I'm a retired software engineer, right? So I've got a spreadsheet that does the math and averages out what my average blood sugar is for the day. And then also figures out to the presumed A1C by doing the calculating what the A1C would be if all of those days were averaged out. And right now, for the last 3 weeks, my A1C would be 5.345, I think it was, if that was the only factor. The fact that I was basically sugary like a snow cone before, it's going to take time.
And they were astounded that they weren't in ER.
They don't know till tomorrow.
But
I bet the nurse, I told her I bet her a donut that it was under 8. And the doctor laughs. He says, "You can't have donuts." And I said, "I know." He said, "I'll take a donut. I just can't eat it."
Weren't it 12?
It was 12 and change, yeah. Not bad. Last time I measured it was 103. 103 is okay. There's the glucose and then the A1C. A1C is long term. Glucose is short term. And my glucose was 325, which is a little bit bad.
Yeah, that's high.
It
It should be like under 7.0 on your A1C, I think, right?
You're supposed to be between in a beautiful
Hi,
world.
Richard.
7.0 is your absolute positive. That's the beginning of diabetes is 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
5.7 is the highest the normal person without diabetes would get. I told him when I go out I work in the yard, which I was just working in the yard all afternoon. I said, I don't sweat. I become sugar coated. I'm glazed like a donut. Every time I stop the mower, ants try to carry me off into the distance.
But the thing is, Bill, you're doing something about it. Because
Oh, sure.
the thing is, Woody, he drunk a lot of soda.
Yeah, a lot is an understatement.
Yeah.
Not good. Soda's not good for you.
Yeah,
And
and it
cut
ruined my
out
system.
completely.
The doc said today, this is my second time in, third round of blood tests. And he said, it looks like I'm type 2, which is absolutely good news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So it,
type 1 is like insulin dependent, isn't it?
yes,
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But
That's
with
when you-
type 2,
you carry
can,
emergency equipment and everything.
yeah. With type 2, you do it with your diet. You know what I mean? You just watch
But
what
you still have to take medicine,
Oh, yeah.
but it's pills.
Like metformin.
Exactly. Yeah, it's well, I got it. I plateaued. I came down from 3 and change to like 190 in 4 days, and then I got it down to like 140 in another 3 or 4 days, and then I got it down to 100 in another week. Now I say 100. That's not honest. Between 100 and 120, because it goes like this. And I can't get it below 100, and I'm eating the food that food eats. I'm allowed meat, but I'm not allowed any dairy. I say that badly. I'm not allowed any milk products. But I'm allowed some cheeses. And I mean, it's down into the hundreds. And the doctor looked, and when I showed him my glucose meter, he looked at it and he said, somehow I knew with you, he says, you take everything serious. And I said, yeah, every time I go to a doctor, they say I'm going to die. And it's always a new reason,
But yeah, he took it very seriously, and he's done what he needed to do.
You know what this is? It's sugar-free Hawaiian Punch. Like you see, it's a great big thing, right? Bigger than my head. It's sugar-free Hawaiian Punch with extra fake sugar added to it, the stevia, because it makes it tolerable. And I say,
digestible, in other words.
Well, I'm supposed to drink 4 of these a day. This is over a quart, and I'm supposed to drink 4 of these a day. That's my minimum intake. I'm not allowed any milk or anything like that. So I said, okay. I experimented, and I found Hawaiian Punch with a teaspoonful of fake sugar. It's not bad, and you get you over the sugar thing without adding any sugar.
Yeah.
The desire.
The thing is, it's like they say, it's mind over matter. If you think you're having sugar, or obviously it's the fake sugar. It makes it more.
But in your head, you think you're getting something sweet.
Yeah.
So it takes away that craving.
I'm laughing at Gary. It's put, hello, Richard, dear. I had a meal for 2 I got for us in Domino's. I even had a candle in the middle of the pepperoni in middle of pizza for us. But the thing is, partners,
I want a pizza.
the what Bill calls the fake sugar, it's better than the real sugar.
Oh yeah, the stuff's harmless.
It's like kidding your brain, if you know what I mean, that you're having sugar. It makes
it makes your brain think you're getting something good when you're actually, and Parkness says sweeteners are no better. Yeah, if you're diabetic, the fake sweeteners are way better for you. It's because I was a sugar addict. Absolutely.
It's the better of 2 evils. Let's put it that way.
Well, the stevia is the least dangerous of the bunch, and it tastes pretty sugary. It's ridiculous. I shouldn't say ridiculous. It's just 3 times as much as regular sugar, which I think is ridiculous. But it's what you got to do.
That's it. You've got to do what you've got to do.
And when you're using a teaspoon at a time, even if I'm making 5 or 6 of these a day, it lasts a long time,
Richard, why are you in the chat? Get up here on the live.
There, see? Woody spoken. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm a transplanted Yankee. He's a real Texan.
I'm a transplant.
But you've been called a lot of things, Woody, but not a transplant.
And I'm from Virginia.
I'm from Indiana.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm from the honest to God north, right in the middle of the north. Only thing north of us is Michigan.
Well,
And no
it's
no
like
actual humans live in Michigan.
it's like I always say, I live in Yorkshire, but originally I'm from Nottinghamshire.
So you're 30 feet down the road.
Well, not far away. About 30 minutes.
Woody could be in Texas, and Woody will tell you he could be in Texas, and I can be in Texas, and we can still be a car drive all day and all night away from each other.
oh yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
Yeah, we can still be 20 or 30 hours in a car from each other.
Yep.
When you're going from the East Coast, you say, "Okay, I'm in Florida. La 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 la. There goes Georgia. There goes Mississippi. There goes Alabama. Or no, there goes Alabama. There goes Mississippi. There goes Louisiana." And then you get to Texas, and then you drive for what feels like the rest of your life.
Yep, for sure.
You stop and fill up when you get to Louisiana, and then you stop and you fill up in Dallas, and then you stop and you fill up in, I don't know, Sweetwater. You stop and you fill up in Midland, and then you stop and you fill up.
This is the good thing about the UK. You can get right from top of England right to the bottom in about, let's say, 7.5, 8 hours, and that's right from top.
Yeah.
From Scotland, right down south.
I've done it a few times. Yeah, we land at Heathrow and we'll drive up to Wales, and we drove to Scotland one time, just so we could say we went to Scotland.
But yeah, if you go from there's a lot of people do this, like from John O'Groats, which is right southern tip of England, to Land's End, which is the furthest south you can go. So yeah, you can do it in less than a day.
Don't y'all have like a underground or underwater tunnel from England to
Eurostar?
Yeah,
Eurostar.
The tunnel.
Done that quite a few times, Kyle. Filey not from Leeds, but from here to Filey, it's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, Gary, the only thing I know about Scotland is it never stops raining and it's cold.
Raffle says, you poor guys, I can reach east or west coast within less than an hour's drive.
You couldn't do that in a military jet from here. From Fort Worth. Yeah, you couldn't get to the East Coast in an hour. And we're on the east side of Texas.
This is the thing. It's demonstrating how vast Texas is. If you need like a day and a half to get one point to the other.
But it's not like driving there. The speed limit is 85 on most of the trip. And it still takes a day and a half. And you're flying. And when the speed limit's 85, as long as you keep it under 100, you won't get pulled over.
Everybody flies down here. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got rid of I had a Honda, a little turbo Civic, and I got rid of it and got a turbo Malibu. And it's a bigger car, which is hard to get used to. And the Honda was all tweaked up with an overgrown turbo on it and a Honda kit on it, and all, so it had almost 300 horse. Not a lot, but a lot for a little bitty car.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I'm driving a house now.
In other words, you souped it up. That's what you say in the UK. It were a bit souped up.
Yeah, Gary, it's still, but
still here.
I don't go there, but
That's just a bit of a personal question, isn't it, Gary?
I'll have to get you a gift certificate.
Oh dear.
The Bunny Ranch isn't in Texas. That's in Nevada.
And the reason for you asking, Gary, why do you want to know if I'll translate?
He's a guy. He's a guy. He's allowed to ask.
Oh,
leave Gary alone. He's not asking any question. Any guy wouldn't.
But yeah, you know what I mean. I was here. But I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I could deal with the heat.
No, you couldn't.
It's
When
crazy.
it's when I'm wandering around in the UK and they say, "Oh, it's a hot day when it's 78 degrees," and it's like, seriously.
I mean, next week we're supposed to be having a little mini heat wave.
No, no,
Oh,
And
well,
it's
we're at
sort of,
82.
you know,
no.
29, 30, you know, and to us, it's like, you know what I mean? And that's like
You're
30
acclimated.
degrees. Hi, Vanessa. How are you?
All right,
Yeah.
Bill, Jeanette, I got to go. I'm going to drop down. I appreciate you having me up.
Okay, then. Thank you for coming up, Woody. I appreciate it. See
Y'all
you
y'all
later,
have a
Woody.
blessed day.
See you
I'll
later,
see you
Woody.
later.
All right, bye now.
But yeah, I mean, same as Chris says other day, like in your case, air conditioning is essential.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
absolutely. Yeah, if your car
It-
air conditioner breaks, it's totaled. Nobody will buy it.
Hello, how we doing?
Hi there.
How you doing?
How's it going?
Is catastrophe averted?
Well, not yet. I'm still waiting. She keeps, well, painful. Supposed to be picking up at 9:30, and then so I set us off, and now she's saying, "Oh, it's going to be 10 o'clock," and then she rings me again. It's going to be about 10.
We
What?
land in Heathrow on the 19th.
So you're just
On the
sitting
8th.
about doing nothing, waiting for it to.
Yeah, well, I got to a point where I left my house, and I thought I'm not driving back home just to set off again. So I'm just parked up. I'm actually parked up on Leyland railway station at the moment.
So you sort of biding the time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Oh, it's ridiculous, but
Is she coming back home for a few days then?
yeah.
What
So-
say? What? Why did you fail your test? You could have drove yourself.
I know. I said that's exactly what I said.
See, you know, me and Richard think so much alike. You know, I won't be in this predicament if you'd have passed your test.
That's pretty much exactly what I said. There's something weird going on here. There's loads of people on this station car park, waiting. And I'm thinking, is there something special going to happen?
I was going to say, are they expecting something special happening?
Well, that's what I'm looking through timetables and I can't see anything.
Gary says even when he was in Brussels over 10 years ago, 37, oh God, it'd kill me, that, Gary. Honest to God.
What's wrong with Brussels?
No, I mean the temperature. It'd kill
Oh.
me.
Yeah, you wouldn't like it here. Summer officially started last week when it was the first day over 100.
Oh, I told everybody about a tale last night, and it's true. It's honest to God, it was true, and it were on the news. These two bears at this zoo or wildlife, whatever, they broke out their enclosure. Right, Irish, how are you? And they knew exactly where to go. I mean, they didn't go anywhere else. They headed straight for shack where the keeper kept all the goodies and raided it. they had 2 weeks worth of honey, and they ate bananas, all kinds of fruit. So they're on a vegetable diet this week. So
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see my diet now. You'd hate it's horrible. I saw you doing the cooking show yesterday or day before, and I thought I can't even look. I can't even look.
Too chocolatey and too sweet for you, Bill.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to make cookies without flour and sugar. Using the fake sugar, but so far they haven't worked. When I say they haven't worked at all.
Gary says if you're doing one of those driving courses holidays in Blackpool, they do packages of lessons and accommodation with a test at the end of the week.
Yeah, should have done. Bloody hell. I can't see chat.
think it ranges from about 800 to £2,000 depending on how many lessons you need.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to suggest it because I'll end up paying for it.
Oh God, 101.
101, yeah, buddy. No, that's my sugar number.
Oh, so that's
Hey, it
good.
was 3 1/4.
Yeah.
101, that's hard work.
I'm mystified as to why there's people here waiting.
Get
Yeah.
out, mask.
That's where we're going.
I don't want to look thick. I'm looking at
Maidstone, Kingston, Milton Keynes. Oh,
Yeah.
I've never been to Milton Keynes, to be honest. Callum had a bit of a catastrophe today, Richard.
Yeah, we're listening with drone.
It weren't nobody's fault. Chris told him to pick it up, but he didn't realise that Propson motor was still going. So he's there with his hand stuck in Joan, and it was his middle finger. It's took his nail right nearly down to it quick, but it hadn't took it off. It's just split it right down the middle, and right on end we've got a great big blood blister.
Ah.
Wasn't there that much traffic overnight then, Richard?
No. There's
Not
nobody.
usually.
There's nobody. Normally nobody here. Just don't understand why there's loads of people here.
Hey, Jeanette, full screen him so we can see. I'm sorry, please. I wasn't polite.
There we go.
I just don't understand. There's normally nobody here, and there's people stood watching over that fence at distance, and I'm thinking, well, what's happening? What's the occasion? You know, you can see him down there at that fence waiting.
Well, obviously, something's transpiring.
Well, I'm looking at timetable. I can't see bog all. I've even got the diagrams in front of me. I don't know if you can see that. Hang on. Oh dear. You know, they're there. All the diagrams, every single train. I'm looking at them. There's nothing a due. You know. Very strange. Very strange.
Probably something they've kept on QT, Richard.
No, there can't be anything. It can't be. God, how do I get back out of here? That's it. It can't be. It's never talk quiet. You know what I mean? The only train that only never shows up is the Royal train.
Hey, you never know. Would that be on anybody's radar then?
No, see, there's even a Network Rail man here now. What the freaking hell? What's going on?
Do you think they're expecting royalty then?
No, well, it does park up round corner, does Royal train here, because there's some sidings, but I don't know what else.
Snapping Lens says it's a ghost train.
Look,
Well,
it
why
is.
would they be waiting if it's a ghost train? Nobody be able to see it.
Yeah. I just don't
What
know.
is a ghost train anyway? Do you mean a ghost train as in, or something that on any schedule or?
Well, there is one that runs in London, but they don't call them ghost trains. They call them parliamentary trains.
Ah.
The rule is they have to run a train sort of like once a week to keep the line open, and they call them parliamentary trains. And they don't carry passengers or anything. They just do one trip up the line to keep it viable, and then the government doesn't shut the line down, you see. That's what they call them, parliamentary trains. You know.
Well, that's a bit strange, just running it just for the sake of keeping line open.
Yeah.
Oh. But, pardon me, I'm burping now. But I mean, it seems very strange that they're all gathered there waiting for something.
I know. There's nothing there. I'm looking on the the diagrams, and there's just nothing. You know, nothing untoward. Obviously, there's trains, but nothing special.
Special or out of ordinary.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm a bit bemused.
Ooh, dear.
there's one called Whisper Ghost Train recently.
See, even the rail train, it never has information on it, but you can see it on the diagram, but it never has information on it. Whereas, like, if you can't see it, but if I click on, there's loads of numbers on this diagram. Like, there's one there, I don't know if you can't see it, but there's numbers on here. And if I click, there's there 1N85, it's just approaching station. If I click on it, it's the Liverpool Lime Street to Blackpool North. You know what I mean? And it tells you, whereas when the rail train's down, it'll have a number, and you click on it, it just says no information available. You know what I mean?
So it's not Royal Train then.
No. There's a lot of freight trains coming, but I can't see them being here for freight trains. So you know, the guys that have stood waiting look like they should have been in bed 2 hours ago with a cocoa.
In other words, OAPs.
Yeah, they're very, yeah.
It's very strange. And how come they know something and you don't?
Well, they don't know. That's the point.
It's very strange.
That's me echoing that. It's just so I can chat on my other phone. Yeah, I don't know. No idea. I mean, there's no way they know something I don't. No way, because I've got everything at my disposal. So I just don't know what they're waiting at. I have no idea, unless one of the freight trains is just something they've not seen before. You know, I don't know.
No idea. It's a head scratcher one, that is.
It is, yeah.
Well, same as you say, at this time of night, I mean, it's gone
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Well, I know they are. I know the chaps that are there because I see them regular at other locations. So I knew as soon as I pulled on car park and saw the cars, I thought, aye, what are they doing here?
That's it.
You know, you get the same people here, there, and everywhere you go, you bump into the same people.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I mean, the next one train that's due is, I've got one away. It's, let's have a look at timetable now. Bollocks, I'm on one page.
I can hear that over here. Can you turn volume down? I can hear it over here. Biscuit's diet's working anyway.
Biscuit's what?
His diet's working.
Is he losing a bit of brick?
Because, you see, with Chris taking him walk regularly, and he says before his harness were a bit, a bit on old tight side. No problem now. And I've said other day to him, I says, I think he's lost some. Because you can tell.
Time to give up sugar and carbs. You'll lose weight in a hurry.
Well, this is the thing, Bill. Since he's been on them steroids, he's put a hell of a lot of weight on. Now he went a week yesterday, I think it were. No, a week Monday. He went for like a checkup. Well, previous to that, when he'd gone, it was 45 kilograms. And they said to him then, you need to put him on a diet. Well, he put even more on when he took him last Monday. So it definitely, So we've cut, we don't give him no treats, no nothing, no leftovers, anything. Nothing. Just a tin of meat in the morning and a tin of meat at evening, and that's it. That's it.
No,
So, it's obviously working because I can see a difference in him. I mean, his belly's still hanging underneath, but you're not going to get shut to that, even if he does lose, But And Chris has noticed, like when he's took him on a walk, when he's had enough, he stops and he not go any further. But they went on a big walk this afternoon, and he says he never stopped once.
See? He had to wait for me.
Did
It was the other way around.
you hear that, Richard?
He what?
He says normally I have to wait for him, and this afternoon he were waiting. He were having to wait for Chris. So yeah, you know, I think you know, he's got the zing for it now. You know what I mean? Instead of Chris taking him for a walk, it's him taking Chris for a walk.
There's a train from. I just don't know what's going on here. There's a train from Dagenham coming through, which is the one that's full of cars and vans.
Yeah, but why would they be waiting at station just to see that?
I don't know. Some people might like it. You know, it's a long train and it's full of transit vans and cars, brand new cars and vans, and they go up Scotland. They get shipped in abroad from Scotland.
Ah.
They go to a port up Scotland somewhere and they get shipped, because you can tell when you look at the vans and cars, they're all steering wheels on the wrong side.
Bill might say it's right side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we drive on the right side of the road. You guys drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
Hey, they call it the right side, right?
You see, the thing is, our steering wheels are on the right side. Yours is on the wrong side. But
I've only been to one country so far where it was left-hand drive and you drove on the left-hand side of the road. That was St. Croix. They're left-hand drive mostly. 99% of the cars are left-hand drive, but you drive on the left side of the road, so you're up against the side of the road when you drive.
Yeah. And where was that?
St. Croix.
Where the hell's that?
In the Caribbean.
Ah.
It's in the Virgin Islands, actually.
Yeah, that must be crap, that. That's like driving an American car over here. You know, these American car collectors, I think, my God, you drive it like that.
Well, yeah, see, to me, it's easy that way because, you know, when you're born into it,
oh, that's it.
it just seems so awkward trying to watch the left side of my car instead of the right side of my car.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, it's same if you're used to, you know, driving a stick shift.
Yeah.
And then you go to an automatic. It must be terrible to, you know.
Well, I know it's not the same, but look at that when we first got these cars with they don't have to put ignition on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, handbrake. No handbrake. Every time I'm stopping, I'm looking for handbrake.
When Chris was saying, when we first, because see, we've always had, right, when we handbrake that you manually pull up.
Yeah.
And when we had the car before this one, no handbrake.
Is it a button?
Yeah.
Mine's a button.
For ages, he kept going like that to put handbrake on. Because he'd been that used to having an handbrake that you like manually put on. He couldn't get used to the fact that it was just a button that you press. And
now, every time I go to the UK is the only place in the whole world that they rape you with car rentals. It's the worst. It's the worst in the world. They charge you an extra like $100 a day to get an automatic. You know what I tell them? Manual is $100 cheaper. Insurance is $7 a day. Give me the insurance.
But yeah, but as well as that, this one that we've got now, Bill, you don't even need to put the key in the ignition.
Yeah.
And that that took an age. That
One
took
of those
age.
where it's just, if this is inside the car, you can push the button. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah, there
And
must be
I looked at it and I said to Chris, I says, "Where's key?" He says, "There isn't one."
There isn't a key.
No. He
Well,
says,
there is a
"Well,
key. There's
so
usually a
long-
key that you can pop open to open the door.
But yeah.
Where's CD player?
Oh yeah, laugh.
Where's CD player gone?
Hey, notice it's got the little clip on it.
No,
When I get dressed in the morning, I clip this on my belt. That way, if I have to get in the car, I don't have to look for the keys.
That's it.
If you watch any of my videos, you'll see that when it's a shot of me, when I'm standing there, you always see this dangling right underneath my shirt. You know.
Daddy. But yeah, when we first had this, what were it? Vauxhall Grandland. They always ask you to get in car and see if it's comfortable and everything. So I sat there and Chris says, "It's CD player." So bloke coming, he says, how you doing? Is it comfortable and all this, that? No, he says, "I've got one question. Where it's CD player?" He says, "Where you been for the last God knows how many years?" He says, "They did away with them years ago." You know what I mean? But yeah, it's moving forward with the times, if you know what I mean.
Looks like that's what they came to see because they're all going now.
What were it?
Just that one with all cars on back.
Oh, problem solved then.
Yeah, they're all going. Must have been just that. Mystery over.
Yeah. Is it one that, I mean, have you seen it before?
Yeah, quite a few times. Quite a few times.
See, everybody makes videos for a different reason. That's why I make a video.
I can't see where it says. You'll have to read it to us, Bill.
A one-word comment. It says "brilliant," and you just love those, you know.
But at least they've commented, whether it were, one word, a full sentence, or,
Yeah. Well, they said something nice, you know, and it's always when somebody has something nice to say, it just makes your day, you know.
But most nowadays partners have either got hi Tommy.
Hello, Tommy.
You plug your thing into it, and you can listen to music.
You gotta be careful. Putting my thing in, it's gotten me a lot of trouble over the years.
Oh, you plug your thing in. I meant your phone. You can.
You're buying a girl a house.
But they've come on leaps and bounds. Mind you, having said that, our car's got to go back on 18th of July. Not permanently. Apparently, they've been recalled for some reason or other. I forget what it is now. I forget now. What, baby? What did they say it were being recalled for? What did they say it were being recalled for?
Software issue.
Oh, yeah, something to do with software.
Well, sometimes now and again, when you start up, the screen on your little TV screen.
Yeah.
By the way, your little TV screen. Sometimes takes a few seconds, sometimes a minute or two for it to come on and just head back on.
Anyway, that's what they record it for. Now it were booked in for early June, but then we got a phone call and said, "Oh, the parts." They said basically that the parts hadn't arrived, so it's booked in for 18th of July. 2 things, I think. I don't know. It's software anyway. Who are you beeping at?
I'm not beeping at anybody. It's silly people.
So in essence, then, in roundabout terms, you've had to wait an hour for her.
Well, it's been over an hour now.
Yeah.
She still hasn't rung me up.
Emergency up or something? Do you think?
No idea.
Yeah, that I know.
What's the crack, Tommy?
Yeah, where were you last night, Tommy? By the way.
I went to bed. Well, I wouldn't say early-ish. I was on Struggle Street for a bit, and then I went to bed. I were going to come in, but I saw you had a few people in, so I thought I'll leave it.
What part do they need for a software up? I don't know. I'm no software engineer, so I don't know. The initial phone.
They could be putting a new chip in it.
And it's something to do, you know, in middle of the dashboard, there's like, as Chris calls it, a mini television screen.
Yeah.
You know, where you get your radio and your aircon and, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The infotainment center.
I was just going to say that. That's what it's called, but you beat me
That's
to
what
it.
it's called. The infotainment
I
center.
don't know what it's called, but it's it's right in the middle of the dashboard, and it's like a mini TV.
That's where your GPS is.
Yeah, well, anyway, I don't know, I can't remember when it were. We got a phone call from them that supplied the car to say, your car is one of the cars that have had a recall issue.
Needs an update.
So same as I say, originally it was booked in for the beginning of June, but then we got another phone call saying that the parts, not just one part, parts hadn't come in. So we rescheduled it for the 18th of July. Now don't ask me what it is, what it does, you know. I don't know. All I know is it's been recalled for that reason. It's nothing, you know, nothing sinister or anything. Still drivable. It don't, you know, it don't. No, they won't.
Let's see, with an electric shifter, electric door locks, electric windows. Yeah, it could be more of a problem than you think.
Well, Partner says dealer needs the car in their possession to be able to update the software. But according to them, Partners, all they told us was they couldn't get it or bring it or fetch it because the dealership is in Chesterfield. They're picking it up and they're bringing it back.
It might be a special plug to update your software.
I don't know. And all I know is they're picking it up and it were due in on, I don't know, about 8th of June. And they rang and said the parts hadn't come in. Could we reschedule it? So we've rescheduled it to 18th of July. That's all I know.
What's the worst that could happen?
I'm laughing at what Chris has just said. This says enough told them while they're there to put some roofing. Oh dear, but yeah, all we know is some kind of software problem. I don't know.
Yeah, they could have rescheduled just because they're too busy also.
But anyway, same as I say,
blowing a cool breeze up your dress, you know.
I wouldn't mind it in next week's heat wave, Bill.
Yeah.
It can blow anywhere it likes. But yeah.
Yeah, Gary, you're right. They don't technically have to have your car at the dealership. If your car is less than 8 years old, your car is talking to the dealership probably.
But the thing is, it's a place called Stoneacre. Now, predominantly they do Fiat cars, but aren't a Jeep Avenger. So, but they do all kinds of things, you know what I mean? And on that particular road where the dealership is, you name it, they even do Harley Davidson motorbikes, you know, Suzuki, every kind of dealership you can mention. But yeah, we in Chesterfield, same as Chris says, it's all right me taking car over there, but how do I get back? So basically we says, is there any chance that you can pick it up and bring it, you know, take it over and bring it back to us? And they says, yeah, no problem.
There you go. As long as you don't mind them running around in your car.
Can do what they want, so long as they bring it in and back in the same condition it went in.
Well, you're assuming that they could ride it hard and put it away wet.
But anyway,
The Stoneacre's a massive company. It's all over. So we've got a Stoneacre Jaguar Centre somewhere near here.
So that's what I say. They do all kinds of different makes of cars.
They're all over
That's
the country.
the name of the
Stoneacre.
dealer is Stoneacre.
Yeah. We've got Huffines.
Who what?
We've got a dealership called Huffines that'll sell you any kind of car you want.
That's a strange name.
Well, not here. Stoneacre is a strange name here. That's just language differences.
That's it. But yeah, on this particular road, Bill, you know, and they class it as an industrial estate, but most of the on that road are dealerships. Stone Island.
I got to do a video one time and run down 121 and 114 just to show you the massive car dealerships, just massive. They've got about, I'd say, 7 or 8 car dealerships in a 3-mile area, and 7 or 8 car dealerships on each side of the street, you know, 4 on each side.
Yeah.
And it's like 2 or 3 miles long for their parking lots. They've got thousands of cars each.
Right where that car dealership is, I'd say not directly opposite, but just a bit further up road, they've got an Harley Davidson motorbike place. I'm not kidding you. You want to see all bikes outside on it, Bill. You know, not that I'd go for a bike like, but you know what I mean? There's some absolutely gorgeous bikes, and you won't believe price tags on them as well.
Stop fighting, bro. Stop fighting. Too bad, bro. Die, oh. Don't die, oh. You die, oh.
Somebody being twats.
Somebody what?
Being twats.
No, there's people talking, I think, on platform. God, you can hear them better than I can.
I thought they were being twats.
No, some kid, well, they're not kids. They look about 20 years old.
Oh, that says what the fuck.
What's happening?
I could hear like they were, and Richard says you can hear them better than I can. And partner heard them. We've got fireworks going off. Anybody know what that's all about?
What did you say? Stop being a twat.
I don't know. No, I said had they been twats. I thought there were some young kids arguing and.
No, they're on footbridge.
But yeah, I mean it's a good job Biscuit's going deaf, Bill, because normally he'd be like this.
Here, look at that little mess of dealerships.
Good.
Let me big it up. There you go. It says Porsche Grapevine, Mercedes Grapevine, BMW Grapevine, Park Place Lexus, Grapevine Ford, Texas Toyota, and if you go across the street, Audi, Land Rover, Acura, all together.
Everything your heart could desire, all in one place.
All in one place. And if you go over here, where's it at? Right over here's where the Chevy and the Honda dealers are. Right down the street here. Someplace.
Tucked away at back.
Yeah, they're like around the corner down the street. Where are they at? They're here someplace. Oh, there you go. Chevrolet and Chrysler and Subaru
That's a lot
and
of car
Honda.
dealerships.
But yeah, so including that, that's probably 15 car dealerships just right there. And then, of course, the big ass airport.
On fire. We've got them like that though. Where the whole estate is just car dealers. We've got quite a few like that in this country.
Neighborhoods are just car dealers for days. Richard, you're in the dark now.
It's getting like dusk.
You're in the dark.
Getting dusk.
That better?
A little bit. I know they don't make car lights like they used to. Oh.
Now the car park's empty, almost.
Where are you hanging around?
I'm waiting for daughter to ring me up. She's beginning to really annoy me now.
Yeah, they are Park Nest. And for us, right after summer solstice is when summer hits.
It was our anniversary on Saturday, and I always know that that's the longest day and the summer solstice. That's the day we got married.
So nights are going to get started.
Sure.
Wouldn't it be better to get married on the longest night for the honeymoon?
It just worked out that way, Bill. It wasn't planned, but yeah.
Ooh. Missile train's been through. That's very odd. That never runs that.
Is that what they've been waiting for, or it couldn't have been?
I don't know. It came through. It came through earlier. I'm just going back through lists, and it's going to one at ports down south.
It was the cheapest day.
Yeah. I'll be back in a second. I gotta go do my task.
It all boiled down to the availability of the church, but we had booked a holiday for the Monday, about 23rd, so that just fit in nicely with that. And instead of it being a holiday, it was a honeymoon. So yeah, it all like slotted in nicely.
It came through here at 10 o'clock. Train full of missiles and things.
Ooh.
Went to the ships down south. It never ever runs, that train. It's always on the timetable. The slot's there for it, but it never ever runs. And tonight it's run.
That could have been what we were waiting for.
I've only seen it once in 2 years. Because it's always got loads of engines on it, but
I'm laughing at what Tommy's brought.
But it seems funny that there's all this nonsense going on in the Middle East, and all of a sudden they're shipping missiles to the South Coast.
He put, right, I'm walking around to the chipper for something to eat. Oddly, it was closed last night. Hope it's not closed down, or Richard will laugh his head off while I go on a diet too. Do you keep him in business, Tommy?
Tesco trains going through now.
Bria mentioned that earlier on, Tesco train.
Yeah. That's up and down all day, is that? Well, not. I'm pretty sure it's not the same train, but the Tesco trains up and down all day. It's always a rate longer. Full of Tesco containers.
Mind you, I suppose if that train with rockets and whatever on, I mean, they don't like to advertise it, if like so to speak. You know, if how can I put it? You know, other people have got different ideas, if you know what I mean.
Well, I know it. I know it's down on timetable every day, so it's listed. But it's never runs. It's just got a slot. There's lots of trains on the timetable every day that don't actually run. They're just booked in. They have that slot, and then all of a sudden you'll look and they've been activated. It says at the top, this service has been activated. And today the missile train's been activated, and it's 18 months since I last saw that activated.
Really?
Yeah. Because it comes down from Scotland, Carlisle, all the way down to Carlisle and Settle Line through Blackburn, down to Farrington here through Leyland, and it goes all the way to a place called, and I forgot what it's called, but I'll tell you in a second. It goes to a place called Shite Nose.
I've not heard of that one, Richard.
I'm trying to find train again.
Have you been there, Bill? A place called Shite Nose.
I can't find bloody train now. I'm trying to find the actual
Shit, I don't
train.
know.
There is such a place. Richard says it's a place called Shite Nose. Say, I've never heard of that one, and I live in England.
Is it on the road in between Wales and Heathrow?
Probably.
Then I've probably been there.
Going to a place called. Found it. It's going to a place. It doesn't arrive until 6 in the morning. A place called Kinnerton MOD.
Kinnerton.
Kinnerton, or Carnton. It could be actually Carnton.
You sure it's not Kenningtonshire?
No, it's no. It looks like it's Carnton because there's only one end. It could be Carnton MOD. That's where it's going to. Which is like all I can tell you. It's nearest place I know is Leamington Spa. It's about an hour south of Leamington Spa. I shouldn't tell you where it is, Carnton.
Defence Munitions Kinnerton occupies the site officially known as MOD Kinnerton and is a Ministry of Defence property located close to the village of Kinnerton, Warwickshire, England.
There you go. And that's where it's gone.
And it's also known as Kinnerton Station and Marlborough Barracks.
There we go. That's where it's gone. And that train hasn't run for 18 months. So that's very strange. It might be Trump. Trump might have ordered some more missiles. Can you get us a batch of missiles over quick? Some more bunker busters.
Oh dear. There's some strange right. This is an aerial view. Oh, you can't really see it. They're like little mini bunkers. You see them?
Yeah.
And that's on that site that we've just been on about.
Right. Well, there we go. That's where it's gone.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Tracy, how we doing?
Who you've got with you?
Hello, Kath.
Hello.
I'm over at Kath's house, Jeanette.
Oh,
you're
fire.
Some boyfriend, a new name, Sweet Chicks. Some boyfriend. I haven't found a name for Bill yet.
Oh, she hasn't found a name for me.
Boyfriend, and we haven't found a name for Bill yet.
Yeah, Richard Sweet Cheeks. But she hasn't
I mean,
found
I've
a name
got
for Bill yet.
Sweet cheeks.
Oh dear.
Hi, partners. Partners saying hello to you.
Well, you know what? You know, while it's that in the public domain, Gary, anybody can show them images.
Yeah. Yeah.
I Callum can't do it. Excitement.
He has to be putting to your front door down.
Don't tell.
Uh,
Yeah, I thought surprised I'd come and see you for a little bit. Have a night away from home.
Ooh,
Yeah. Why not?
that's it.
I just thought we'd come and say hello. We had you on in Stuart had you on in living room, but he said, "Are you going to go live on yours, or am I going live on mine?"
Well, we can all go live if you
So
want.
Stuart said, "Put your laptop on. I'll come and say hello when I'm ready."
I'm rolling on now.
Hey up, Tracy. Our Callum felt sorry for you today, and he's injured his finger.
No.
Honest to God, him and Chris went out with Joan, and it fell on the floor. But Chris didn't realise that motors were still going, and he told our Callum to go and pick it up, and he picked it up, and it's split his nail right down the centre, right down, right nearly down to his quick, right?
Yeah.
And then right on the very end, he's got a massive blood blister.
I took my finger off and went on floor.
He were very lucky it didn't take the end of his finger off.
Yeah.
I lost my finger locking the front door. I was
Yeah.
going out to
Hey, look.
play.
Can you see the shape of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's finger shaped.
Oh, right, yeah.
My mummy wedding finger. So if I hadn't
Are you
got a
flipping
wedding
us off?
finger, I couldn't have got
My
married.
sister trapped my finger in door as kids, and end of my finger were hanging off, and they had to sew it back on. If you look closely,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
right,
my-
you can see it side where they sewn it.
Yeah.
yeah. I can see it, yeah.
Hey, Jeanette,
What?
we're twins. You see that finger?
Yeah.
You can see the line where they stitched it back together. It's a little crooked.
Yeah.
And that
They attached it crooked.
yeah. It's
That's
all
class.
mine, Bill, is like all misshapen. Look. You see
That
it?
one.
Yeah,
You
mine's
see it?
just crooked.
Yeah, you can see it side where they
Oh,
tried
God.
to.
Mine's in its cast, Bill, mine's in its cask.
Oh,
She chopped a finger in door.
Broke it.
That's what I'm saying. You were very lucky, because when my sister slammed door on my finger, end of my finger was hanging off. And it just
Yeah,
so happened with that middle finger. And it's Callum's this middle finger, and he's left-handed. So it played the sympathy vote.
Hello.
Hi, Stuart.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, Stuart.
Yeah.
Hello, Bill.
It played the sympathy vote because he's left-handed, and he says, "Well, what am I going to do when it comes time to feeding animals?" Because he does feeding animals in at tea time.
It's in his car. He's off for a midnight drive.
No, what it is, his daughter wanted him to pick her up,
Oh.
and he was there at 9:30, and he's still waiting. She keeps messaging him and saying, "I'm going to be. It's going to be more like 10 o'clock." Then she won't got really 10 o'clock.
She better not message me and say, "Oh, leave it. I'll come back tomorrow instead. I will be pissed off."
Well, why you be sat there off at night?
Well, she's done that. She's done it before that.
I'd be well pissed off me, Richard.
Well, she gets held up at hospital, you see. She can't go until they finish with her. You know.
Yeah, but in the meantime, you've got to occupy yourself while you're waiting.
that's our job.
Well, we could keep him company, can't we, Richard?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
At least it's nice and warm anyway.
we've had an air of mystery
Yeah.
because Richard parked up in a station, and he says normally this time of night there's nobody there, but there were car park where it had got quite a few cars, and there's been a train about 10 o'clock with a load of missiles and whatever on it. Me and Richard didn't actually see it, but so. But
Has Johnny been in chat?
Johnny, yeah.
Oh.
Right at the beginning, and said he weren't coming up because he were trying to settle Keena, I think.
Yeah, he might have either fallen asleep on bed or something. Had a busy day.
Yeah. So yeah,
Beat the football.
you know, Richard weren't sure
Fancy
what
that.
were happening, you know, just that there were a lot of people there waiting.
Okay, boys and girls, I got to go play. Making dinner's a journey now.
But the thing is, Bill, don't you find is, you know, what you're making for other people, and you've got to make something different for yourself.
I'm only making food for me.
Oh,
Look, nobody else here, just me.
and your mum there.
Mm.
I'm laughing at Tommy. Says chip is closed. He says, that's your fault, Richard. You put the mockers on my bag of chips.
Sorry, Tommy.
I had Chippy over here tonight for my tea. Not very nice, but I eat it because I'm hungry.
I'll see you guys later. I got to go
See you
make
later,
later,
Bill.
Bill.
Thanks for popping up.
See you,
Bye,
Bill.
Bill.
Hey,
Bye.
Bill. He says swine.
Never mind, Tommy. Have something healthy.
You can just imagine him sitting there going, it's all Richard's fault.
Been sat in Calf's Garden all afternoon. It's been lovely and nice. Sunshine here. I left rain in Leeds, in Rothwell.
The thing is, Tracy, next week we're going to have another heat wave.
Mm.
Every single day, it's not going to go below 28, 29.
Yeah. Well, when I left my end today, you both know where I live. It was a bit cloudy, but warm. But I
It's
thought if
been
it
like
rained,
that
I'm going to
here.
get wet. So I travelled in a tracksuit on the train over here. When I got off at train, the bloody blazing sun, I had to take the jumper off. Yeah, so I was like that.
Well, intermittently, I've had fan on all day. Oh, that'll wind him up, Richard.
But what?
He's put cheap signs. Winding him up.
Hmm. Oh,
Hey, I've got one better. I've got a picture that Gary sent me, right? This will wind him up even more.
mm.
Meatalicious. That's what Gary's had tonight, Tommy. Meatalicious pizza from Domino's.
Meat feast.
No, he says it was called Meatalicious.
Mm.
It's Meatalicious, it's called. Ham, chicken, pepperoni, sausage and bacon.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
It looks nice and all.
I got keen at because she's into barbecue, as you know, barbecue sauce all the time, and she noticed it in shop supermarket. So I thought I'll get you one, barbecue base, but then with all meat feast on, with all different meats,
Yeah.
Well,
pepperoni and meatballs and whatever else add on.
When I order my shopping, I always get a meat feast one.
You could get it with barbecue base now instead of tomato.
But on this one that I order, it's got like mini meatballs.
Yeah. That's from what we're on Keeners, but instead of having tomato base, it had barbecue sauce base.
Oh,
And
meat
cheese
feast
and all that
onions
lot.
and
Mini
all the-
meatballs,
It's different.
pepperoni.
I was showing Bria, right? This is what I forgot to show you last night. Blackberry and clotted cream shortcake.
Ooh,
It's like a cake.
yeah.
You make that cake, cut it in half, and
We've
then
got some blackberries, haven't we, Jeanette?
I have in my freezer.
I
You
have in
have?
my freezer. Yeah, I keep telling Johnny, this bucket of raspberries or whatever they are, blackberries, are going to have to come out because all my food's on top of them.
But yeah, because see, you know where I buy the tinned apple pieces?
Yeah.
I've had blackberries in my freezer, and I've had these 2 tins of apple slices for ages, and I keep saying, I'm going to do either a blackberry and apple crumble or a couple of blackberry and apple pies and bung them in freezer. And they're still in there.
Yeah, and then when you want a pudding, you just take it out night before or whenever morning for it to defrost, don't you?
I mean, that was the idea, you know what I mean? And because I don't like not having things like that in my freezer. The same as you said, if you just fancy a pudding one night, all you've got to do is night before get it out of the freezer.
Well, we're not baking with you for a good couple of weeks and stuff. It was costing me a fortune because I'm having to buy it.
I could walk down the pizza shop, but it's that far a walk. I reckon I'd burn off all the calories of the pizza. It's a bit of a waste of time. Get on your bike.
Ice cream, yeah, ice cream is good with it.
I mean, I'm this next week. I've got quite a few. This is what we're making next week, anyway. Homemade hobnobs, and this ain't got strawberry milkshake cupcakes, right?
Yeah.
This Tuesday coming, but I want to make this. Richard, Eton mess cake.
Eton mess, bloody hell.
Oh yeah.
So that's now this would be a nice pudding. It's too long. It's not too long to bake, but too long to bake on the thing. Lemon drizzle pudding.
Oh yeah.
Just like lemon drizzle.
What did you think to those buns, Jeanette? I haven't tried one yet. I forgot to bring one with me. A couple with me. I hope Johnny saves me one for when I get back.
That's like a caught something. What is? And obviously, I've just shown you the blackberry and clotted cream one. And a Kit Kat we made last night. And that's what I showed Tracy last night. Lemon cream cheese.
Yeah. I do fancy that one, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Blondie base, is it? Or is it a biscuit? A brownie base, I mean. Not a blondie. Brownie.
It's 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, sugar, butter softened, cream cheese, 2 large eggs, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 3 to 4 drops of yellow food colouring. That's for the base. And it says icing, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a cup of powdered sugars and yellow sprinkles for garnish.
That looks nice.
But apparently, you know, when you put that middle bit on,
Ambrosia cream rice with tuna on top. What the?
oh, it's as bad as Amjad with his roast potatoes and clotted cream. Cheers, Tommy. He says I get my inspiration from a certain baking channel. Thanks, Jeanette.
Like being adventurous in the kitchen. Tuna, imagine that old woman off Vicar of Dibley. She used to make mixtures like that.
Well, I brought my laptop.
It's
And
all
my
your
camera.
fault, mate. But I have downloaded some more.
I've caught the sun on my face.
This is what I was showing Tracy last night, and these is strawberry Nutella French toast roll-ups.
Yeah, Richard, look at them.
Oh, fire.
That's just bread roll. What you do is you get. Well, it does say 6 slices of bread on there. Cut your cut your things off, your crust. Roll it with your rolling pin till it's flat. Put Nutella on it and a few strawberries, and then you just roll it up. But you melt butter and then you sort of like toast it. That's it.
In your frying pan.
Well, I mean, for my induction hob, I've only got that saucepan, so I'd have to use
So
that.
could you probably do it in a pan? Does it have to be a frying pan?
You don't say it has to be a frying pan, no.
Oh. Because my frying pans will get bacon and eggs cooked in it.
See, that is all the ingredients you need.
Well, I mean, eggs. Oh, yeah.
Bread, milk, eggs. And the bread, milk and eggs is the thing that you whisk up.
Yeah. It's like making French toast, isn't it? Gypsy toast, we call it French toast. Fried eggy bread. Dip your bread in your egg beat and then put it into pan to cook.
It says you just combine your egg and milk, spread sugar out in a small dish. That's castor sugar. But I might do a bit of a spin on that. I might add a bit of cinnamon to mine when we do it.
Yeah, have cinnamon or sugar, one or two.
Using a rolling pin to roll the bread flat, this makes them easy to roll up and stay rolled up. Put each piece of bread with around 3/4 of a tablespoon of Nutella. Sprinkle strawberries along the bottom of each end of the bread. Top and bottom, I would imagine. Roll it. Melt butter in a pan. They don't say a frying pan, it just says a pan. Over medium high heat. Roll each roll up in the egg mixture, shake off the excess and place in the pan. Repeat with remaining roll-ups. Cook for around 4 minutes each until side is golden, rotating every minute or so. Remove from the pan and immediately place in the sugar. Roll, coat in the sugar, then remove. There you go. And serve immediately.
Yeah. So with us baking them on an evening, would it be all right to eat the next day cold?
I would imagine so. Either that or just warm up.
Would we be able to sort of like put them in the microwave for a few seconds just to warm them again?
Yeah. Here's one, another one. And this only takes 25 minutes to cook. Strawberries and cream scone cobbler.
Ooh.
I seen that other day. And I thought, oh, I bet that's nice.
Strawberries and cream scone cobbler.
That's it. 850 grams of strawberries.
Bloody hell. I'll need a bank loan.
I'm going to say you'd have to rate Morrison's for all them strawberries.
Have to go reduced aisle.
Oh, Christopher, please.
No, I went to Aldi this time for strawberries when I made them buns with you last night. And the strawberries are a lot cheaper at Aldi. You wouldn't think, but they are.
Christopher, please, because probably have to go on for buttermilk again because it's got 125 grams of buttermilk.
Careful.
Priya says rain fruit corn.
Where it is, we'll fetch it.
It's 'cause
And
you're
then,
all set like
and there's that one I'll show you. That's a cornflake brownie.
Kathleen, that's nice. You like both of them. Cornflake on top and brownie on bottom. Chocolate brownie on bottom.
Who's made that?
No one has. That's what she's planning on to do one time.
I'm saying to Tracy, I'd been busy downloading recipes. This one might pique your fancy.
Come over here and do my baking with you as
This
well.
is apple oatmeal muffins.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah,
That's apple.
that's apple.
We might get married again and we'll get you
Can you?
sexy chicks. Are you listening?
What?
Sweet chicks. I'm not saying it again.
Sweet
No.
I
chicks.
said I might get married again. I said I'll have you as my what do you call them? Then what do all your food?
Catering.
Yeah, you can do all my buns and my cakes and my whatever.
Just give her a prize, Jeanette.
I tell you what,
What's
Tracy.
happening? We'll get married again and Jeanette's gonna cook all of buns.
She
and
can
cakes.
she can be cheeky, you know, but just give her a prize, love.
Me and you will do it. What's the occasion anyway?
She's gonna get married again, so you can do all
Same
catering.
what's outside. I'm not changing him. I'll just yeah, it's outside.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Oh, it's all right because Rick took you and wedding ring off. You don't hear him saying no. He just sits there right quiet in his little car.
Giggles.
It could be a five, but
Well,
you back
you know what they
No,
say,
he
don't
takes
you,
me back
Carl?
to father.
Next to the devil, you know.
Did you hear that, Richard?
No.
She can come over there and marry you, Richard, but you'll soon bring her back for a five. That's what she just said to me. Well, if you won't marry me again, Stuart, she
I'll
said,
go and get that.
she said, I'll just go marry my boyfriend and just take me over ring off.
That's it, Kath.
Oh,
You tell him. You tell
Yeah.
yours, Stuart.
You got to have a giggle, haven't you?
She wants
She'll
to
marry
renew her vows.
somebody that deserves her.
I wanted to do it a long time ago, but she was not having none of it.
Just to renew the vows.
Yeah, he's not having none of it. I said, we've even got new bridesmaids. Our Haley's give you plenty. So it's not as if we're hard up for bridesmaids. All come different sizes. Fucking hell. Oh my God. But oh my Kalana. Oh, I could run away with her. I am telling you.
Just soon bring her back.
Oh, she was my Kalana. So cute.
See what Gary's put, Kath? I seen him first.
I look at my ear. I told my ear.
Gary says,
What
no,
have
you
done?
won't, love.
Whoa.
Gary.
I seen him first.
I'll marry you. What did you say? I'll marry you first.
Yeah, because she says, I'll marry Richard.
Gary says, no, you won't, because
Oh,
Gary
God.
will marry Richard first.
I seen him
Well, I
first.
don't think he's that way inclined myself.
Did you hear that, Gary?
Uh,
She said, I don't think Richard's that way inclined myself. Gary, Kathleen will fight you for Richard, so if I were you, be careful.
I'll fight you. So, you
yeah,
know.
she's a little plastic rocket, Gary.
I
know,
seen him first. That means he's mine, and I don't care. Any
Don't-
all them
Don't
Jimmy
be
got
fooled
coming out.
by the, you know,
Yeah.
short stature. You know what I mean? Don't be
Yeah.
fooled by the short
It's
stature.
only a bit of a fun joke, I suppose.
I know.
You never wobble.
The thing is, I mean, in 3 years' time, it's mine and Chris's silver wedding anniversary, and we were talking, and I says, I don't want no divorce, I don't want no party, no nothing. You know what I mean? It's too much faff, if you know what I mean.
Well,
You've got to sort of,
this
you know,
time last year, when I was 30 year married, I woke up that morning, I got washed, I got dressed, and I said to Stuart, I'm off out of this house. So off we went. We were getting on a bus. We knew it, we're going to town, but when we get to town, I didn't know where they were going. And I just turned around to him and I said, you know my sister? He said, which one? So I said, the one what got my Johnny Elvis. And he went, yeah. I said, that's where I'm going to have my anniversary. When I walked in there and I just said, it's my wedding anniversary today. I've been married to a dickhead. Don't you feel sorry for it? My nephew turned around and said to me, no, I don't. I thought, well, I love you too. Yeah. And I thought
you won't trade him in for the world, would you, Kath?
Well, I don't know what to do this year. I'm not going to the same place I did that last
What is up
year.
with this stupid camera?
Has it got droops on, Tracy?
I'm having to balance it on top of laptop because I'm not at home, Mama, where I have it down.
Oh, I wonder what you kept putting on.
No, because sometimes it, like when we move
Yeah,
the
yeah,
table, we
yeah.
can't help it, so it's pointing up there to see them, and then it don't get us.
But
Never mind, they can
So,
see.
Yeah, so this time next week, I've been married 31 years to
Bloody
a
hell,
girl.
Kath. Yes, Chucky.
Not bad going,
that's
is
it.
it?
You'd have been out on parole by now if you'd have murdered him.
I know, I've got a place with that early. You can come out here with your babies and I'll go inside for you. I said, I'll have had nails through me.
Yes, don't be there, don't.
I said, but they won't fucking let me out because I won't have gone back. Oh, I can think that.
No, you don't want to be there anyway. Got a
I
nice
said,
place.
I mean, it's easy. I mean, let's face it. You know, where Ailey is, it's not a piece of cake, but
It's not.
it's better
I'm not
than
sure.
mainstream prison. But even
Oh, I
so,
see.
Yeah, but you've done not
You
wrong,
know,
Kath. to
No,
be
no,
there.
but that's what I
You
said
know,
about
you-
it. I'm not perfect.
you can't do
No,
whatever
nobody's
you want
perfect.
to do. If you know what I mean,
No
you
one's
can't.
perfect, but you've done not wrong legally to
No.
be where she is.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
She didn't really do not wrong,
No,
really.
no,
She was
but
just
I'm
sticking up
just
for herself.
I said, you know, like they all say, oh, she's doing her. You know, they want to be going around with her. She'll make it so cheeky and this, that, and over. And Adair looks at me and she goes, whatever these Keegan think you've done or how bad you've been, she said, I don't see any of it. I said, that was a long time ago and I want as bad as people make out. So she said, well, I can't see no.
But this is the thing, Kath. I mean, however way you look at it, she's done a time. You know what I mean? She's, you know, she did wrong. She didn't admit she did wrong, but she's done wrong. She's done the crime. She's paid the time, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
And all the way through, she's been exemplary.
Oh,
know,
she's done
she's
it.
been really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, that's one thing I can say honestly say about her. She's come home.
She's turned. It's turned her life around, being where she is.
Yeah.
It's turned her life around.
This
is the thing.
I'm going to make her or break her.
This is the thing. They're doing this early release thing, and I can't for life on me understand why they haven't done it for your Ailey.
I know. They've let all sorts of people out, haven't they? But they won't let her out.
But she's coming out in April, and it'll be here before you know it.
The thing I've read that one of these early release scheme inmates come out, and within 2 months they were back in clink again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That won't be happening.
Definitely. I mean, you can tell by the way she's, you know.
You see, she didn't start off, but what it was, you know anyway, don't you, Jeanette? How she got tricked by her ex and stuff like that, not being able to see the children. She won 50-50 of them 2 kids before she met Farad. And he buggered off to Leicester with the kids. So she didn't know where the kids were, she didn't know where he was. She turned to alcohol and she was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and she were intoxicated with alcohol and smoke and whatever. And this fella was going to grab her into a taxi. So she sort of like threw the bottle and it cut him from there to there.
Well, this is the thing. I mean,
and he wanted £1,000 a stitch to keep it out of court. She didn't even have a penny to rub together. Never mind £1,000.
The thing is, you know, when you're in that situation, Tracy, I think 9 out of 10 times we'd all do the same thing.
And the reason why she denied it in the first place is because she thought it'd go bad on her from seeing the children, having the kids. You know what I mean? He'd on buggered off anyway with them.
She did it for all the right reasons. It just backfired on her.
Yeah. But like when she comes home next year, she comes home on a license for a year, and she has to report to a probation once a week and have a drugs test and alcohol test. And if they find anything on her what shouldn't be
Goes back to
there. She goes back in, but she won't go to that open prison where she comes out on only. She'll go straight back to Newhall, and she won't come, and she has to do the full time.
But the
Because when
thing
she
is,
come out, she's done 3 years out of 4.5. So she's getting less time, but on license, if you know what I mean.
yeah, which I think they should have done a long time ago myself. You know, but that's just my opinion.
But they haven't.
It's because of a criminal crime or something. Criminal crime
It was
damages.
because, your Johnny says it because it was violent crime.
That's
But
it,
they
violent crime. Yeah.
starting to let people out.
What do they call people? Like nonces out and all sorts, aren't they? Murderers. Don't they call that worse than what Haley did?
That's
But they've
it.
let them out.
I think it was Vic saying though, wouldn't you?
You can't understand the system, can you? You know what I mean?
Can you put your table a minute? So I
I can't get my chair in that hall.
That's better.
But she's shown to you and she's shown to them.
Oh,
that
yes, she has,
was
yeah.
told, if you know what I mean.
Obviously, while she's been in there, she's had no alcohol, she's had no, she can't even have a proper cigarette. It's got to be plastic vapes.
Plastic vape.
Them vape things while
When
she's
she comes out
inside.
here, she'll smoke a normal cig though.
Yeah, because she can when she's at
No,
my
I know,
house.
but I'm saying she smokes a normal cig.
Yeah, because she can, because she's not
So-
in there. But she can't, when she goes back, she has to get
When
used
she's
to
in, when she goes back to that
Yeah.
unit, she
Yeah.
can't smoke normal cigarette.
No, I only have that plastic cig.
And then she won't have that if we didn't send up money, because she has to pay for it all.
Yes, that's what it says.
It's 11:15 now, Richard.
Yeah,
Oh.
nearly, yeah.
I've just sent her a message. I've not had a response.
Richard's pulling an all-nighter, sat in
No, I'm going to go home in a minute. I'm going to go home. If she ever don't get a response back for this, I'm just going to go home and say I'll come and get you tomorrow. And she
The
can
same
go
as
home.
you say, I mean, how could have happened, emergency operation or something daft like that, you know what I mean? When you're a doctor, you know,
One of his
things, you know.
hospital, the doctor.
I know.
I mean, this is
That's to let you know all.
this is how in tune me and Richard are. I turn round to Richard and I says, I'd have said to her, well, if you'd have passed your test last week, we wouldn't be in this. Exactly what I said to her.
Yeah.
You know, it wouldn't be sat about in a train station car park waiting for it to do what she's got to do if she'd have passed the test. And he says that's exactly what I said to her.
No.
And I said that to Richard, and I said, I'd have said, well, you know, if you'd have passed your test.
You need to be good to them girls because they're going to look after you when you get an old man. So if you're good to your girls are going to look after their daddy.
I don't know about our Callum, it's the other way round. Hi, Steve, how are you?
Yeah, I see it.
Come home, honest to God, he come home today and it got this like foam
Hi,
thing round his
darling.
finger.
Is he talking to you, Jeanette?
What?
Oh,
You got your little toy boy saying to you.
Hi, darling. Yeah.
Hi, darling. Hi, Steve, love.
You know, we do have his you know, fans, you know. But anyway, he come in with his foam all wrapped round his finger. He says, what? He says, well, that's the only thing Dad had got. He says, because he split his nail right down, it were bleeding.
Has he blocked it out then? No, just
Yeah.
this bloody camera's jumping,
But,
balancing.
yeah. It were same as Chris says, it weren't Callum's fault and it weren't his fault.
Only a team.
The drone dropped and Chris thought that the motors had stopped running once it had dropped. So he sent our Callum over to pick it up and he picked it up and it was still running. So he's there holding on to the thing and Chris kept saying, let go on it. He says, I can't. He said, my finger's trapped inside it.
Oh.
It did get away lightly. I mean, them props, whirligig things, they can be lethal. Richard knows that. They can be very lethal.
I don't understand why he picked it up when you're running. Why didn't you see it was running and think, hang on, I won't pick that up, it's running?
Chris had told him it weren't running.
Yeah, but you could, no, I know that, but you can
Yeah, I
see with
know.
your own eyes. It's like putting your hand in a fire. Is that? I don't get it.
I don't know, but he was very, very lucky. He's got away with his nail split right down middle.
Yeah, I mean,
That
end of the day,
bleeding, and
they're,
right,
never gonna, they're not going to chop your finger off them. You can, if you can
right
put up,
on the very end, he's got a big blood blister.
you can put your hand in them, and yeah, it hurts, but it's only they soon stop.
You see what Tommy's put? She could be picking up a bag of chips to save Tommy's life after what her father's done. But yeah, being his left hand as well, and, you know, you know, you can't think it was his middle finger and all. So I've got these big plasters. Some of these big plasters. So I wrapped one of them round him, and he says, I can't wash my hands or anything.
Yeah, he's got his Johnny on his finger.
He's got a Johnny on his finger. So you know them white plastic.
Bobby, just find your tablets.
You call them cots, and they are like
Yes, you put it on your plaster to stop it
yeah.
from
And you
peeling.
pour it over. They used a lot in the food industry. If anybody gets injured, yeah, that's the one, Tommy. They're called cots, and you put it over your finger, so you know you can wash your hands and all sorts, and it's not compromising. You know,
I bet it's painful though. Bless him. He might need
he's
a
played on it.
painkiller.
He's played on it, Tracy. I'll tell you.
Might need a painkiller for pain, doesn't it?
No, I'm not putting middle finger up because
He might need a painkiller for the pain, doesn't it? I know what it's like.
Yeah, anyway, because he normally feeds animals at tea time, and he went, well, how am I going to open can with this?
Ah, poor little love.
Or how am I going to feed them with this? You know,
Now I'm going to
feel sorry for me.
take
Feel
him
sorry
from
for me. And then he was saying, I don't know, it was Biscuit. And he was saying, don't worry, Biscuit.
Do you know what? Tomorrow when mealtime comes, he'll say, how can I cook my dinner, Dad?
He said earlier on, he said, so long as you don't come to me and say, Dad, can you just cook me this up?
Yeah. Can you cook my dinner up, Dad?
Feed him finger food.
You have to give some soup.
But yeah, he was talking to Biscuit and he says, don't worry, Biscuit. He says, I'll be all right in a few days.
Oh, bless.
To Biscuit.
We're bothered about my draw damage you've done.
You know, Biscuit's laid horizontal, couldn't give a shit. And he's saying to our Biscuit, don't worry, it'll be all right in a few days. That's it. I said to our Callum, I said, does he look worried?
He's always bothered.
Don't go answer him one day and I'll be in shock.
No, he didn't. He didn't, Bria. Honest to God. He says, don't say you use the I'm hurt, agony, but baked treats. But yeah, one of the things Chris said to him were, you don't come to me, Callum, and say you want your food cutting up. He says, you're not two anymore. He says, I know you're left-handed and everything. He says, but you've got two hands and it's only your middle finger. He says, I'm sure you could work some at that.
Yeah, but it's
You have
not.
to use chopsticks, you know.
I bet it hasn't stopped. I bet it's not stopped him using PlayStation.
Not because he can use his thumb for that, Richard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, anybody think when he come back, Harry wrote in his hands, it had decapitated all his fingers.
Oh.
You know what I mean? But never mind, eh? Right, on that note, guys, I'm going to call it a night. And are you going live tomorrow, Richard?
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll have a think.
You might be still
Say
trying
no.
to car park with for his daughter.
I might be still sat here.
I'm going to say, don't say, well, I'll probably still be sat here tomorrow night.
You could have brought a flask of coffee with you, Richard, and a little snack.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you all later, guys. May or may not see you on Richard tomorrow evening.
Bye, chat. Bye, Gary.
Bye. I hope you're
Bye,
not
dear.
waiting too long anyway, Richard.
Yeah.
See you later, guys. Bye.
What's down for?
And meanwhile, back in the car park.
Yeah.